Alright, these are the quiz corrections for Math 4 quiz number 1B, sections 1.1 to 1.3, taken on September 2nd, 2016. This was out of 32 points. Show all your work in the space provided and box your answers. Question number 1, Hallie drew line segment AB on the coordinate plane. So you have a triangle there, and there you're looking at AB. Determine the distance between points A and B. Remember, you can't count because it's a diagonal, so you can do two things. Number one, you can use the Pythagorean Theorem, which means you have to draw a triangle. So there's my triangle there. You could have also gone this direction. Notice how the triangle provided for you is not a right triangle. There I can count that the sides are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here this one is 2. That'll be 1, 2. And the most important letter is C, which is across the hypotenuse. So that's what we're trying to find, which is the distance of A and B. So A is 4, B is 2. Square those, you get 16. 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. And you get 20. To remove the power of 2, you'll take the square root of both sides. C is equal to square root of 20. If you left it there, you got 3 out of 4 points. Take the square root of 20. Your factors are 4 and 5. 4 is broken down to 2 and 2. That's a pair, so they come out. 2 radical 5 is your answer. Now, if you use the distance formula, I wrote down the coordinates for A, -3, 1. B is 1, 3. And then I label them x1, y1, x2, y2. Always, always, always write down the formula. Notice how my red there is there, because that's a common mistake, and then I just do my substitutions. x1 is -3. My x2 value is 1. My y1 value is 1. And my y2 value is 3. -3 minus 1 is a -4. And -4 times -4 is a positive 16. Anytime you have anything to the power of 2, we'll turn into positive here. 1 minus 3 is -2. -2 squared is 4. 16 plus 4 is square root of 20. And you simplify that, you get 2 radical 5. If you left your answer as 20 or radical 20 and gave you 3 points, you receive 2 out of 4 if you just wrote down the correct formula, or no formula and your substitutions were incorrect. Question 1B, this was a multiple choice question. It meant you had to pick one of these, and you need to simplify. 5 rad 6 plus 9 rad 54. These are not like terms because these numbers are not the same. Here I listed out all the factors of 54. The best one is with the largest perfect square. That would be 6 and 9. The reason why it's the best one is because 9 breaks down to 3 and 3. There you have that pair. Now that pair comes out here. There's that 3, but remember that 9 is already there, so 3 times 9 is 27. Then you'll notice that these are perfect squares. 5 plus 27 is 32. These remain the same. 32 radical 6 is your answer. That would be choice, letter choice D. 2 points. That should be 1C there. Simplify. Out of 4 points, square root of 48. Remember, write out all your factors. You're looking for the perfect square. 16 is the largest perfect square because you can draw a square with literally 16 boxes, and you'll notice that this side is 4 and this side is 4. So identical numbers. They're a pair, they come out, your answer is 4 radical 3. That side was worth 10 points. To the back side, each picture, you're supposed to fill in the blank there, and each picture is worth, each space is worth 2 points. So a line on a plane, sometimes it's confusing. If you drew a point there, it's not clear if you were confused from last week. So if you just put the line on the plane, that's best because we're just going to assume that it's on there. Notice how there's no letters. Number 3, you have this here. This is called a line segment because there's no arrows there, so you just label it with C and D. Notice how I have points here, but don't write those points up here. That would be incorrect. This is called line segment CD. If you left off CD, you took off a point. Non-collinear points. You just have to have a picture here. Here is collinear, meaning they're on the line, and this one is not on the line. So that would be called not collinear, not on the line. Question number 5, this is called ray ST. If you forgot ST, you took off a point. starting in S and going towards, the arrow is going towards the T there. So when you're writing your notation, the arrow is above the T. Remember, we don't put a point there. That would be incorrect. If you put a dot there, I took off a point. Use the figure for questions 6 and 7 and circle true or false. A, B, D. So let's see if I can highlight that. A, B, D here is the top plane, blue, and so that's this one, and G, I, H. So you only need 3 points to form a plane, so this pentagon here. And notice it's the top and the bottom, therefore they are parallel, so the answer is true. For questions 7, line AF and DI are skew lines. The answer is false. Remember, skew should be not parallel, and they are not intersecting. That's a definition of skew lines. Okay, 2 points each, right or wrong. Question number 8 says construct C prime D double prime to segment, which is twice, so here's a keyword, the length of CD. If you did it correctly and you only did it once, I give you 3 points out of 4. So let's go and construct this. I'm going to use my starter line. I'm going to call one end C here. Actually, that line's probably too short, so I'll draw a little longer. Go ahead and take my compass. I'm going to go ahead and measure C and D. Sharp end, pencil, open and close right there. I'm going to translate down here to C prime. And I'm going to go ahead and draw an arc there. Don't erase those. Leave those pencil marks. That way I can actually go back and I actually measured yours. You received a point off if you didn't use a straight edge. Now this is the first one and this is the second one, so let's go ahead and draw that. So you can see how this is just one length. So this one was D prime, and we moved it again, so this is D double prime. So essentially, C prime D prime is this one that I'm going to highlight in blue for you, from here to there. Whoops, try that again. So you will have to be able to do constructions. And last question, which diagram shows a construction of perpendicular bisector AB? So the correct answer is here, it's this one. So if you were confused, that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. That side was worth 22 points. So 22 and 10, your points are added in the corners, so that'll be out of 32 points. I hope that was helpful for you to do well.